a lot of people might be thinking, why are you bringing her up? Don't you have problems with her? Didn't she do this to you? Didn't she do this? Didn't she do that? Weren't you guys done? Didn't she treat you like crap? Yeah, that's true. But here's the other thing that happened. Okay, you know how there's a thing called the domino effect, where one thing leads to another and it's a chain reaction. At the time that things were starting to unravel, right? There was still hope. And let me explain why. A couple weeks after Anime had blocked us and effectively left us in the dark, she started unblocking people and started communicating with them and started talking to them again. This was, of course, strange, right? And notably, she managed to reach out and contact mostly everybody but me. So obviously, I got a little upset about it. So I was hoping that Nick would go and ask her, hey, why do you have me blocked? Again, I was upset at the time, right? And I still acknowledge that I may have gone a little out of hand with my upsettedness. But this is where the problem arises. Okay? So I asked Nick to do that, and what does he do instead? Coincidentally, what he also did to Anarchy a while back, he blows up on her. Just basically blows up on her in the worst way possible, and after that, he permanently cuts all contact with all of us. And that's the end of that. The level to which I didn't really understand how bad of an action that was at the time wasn't until recently, where I legit started to realize Anime may never speak to us again and never give us another chance because of what Nick did. Nick may have eliminated any chances of us getting her back, and not to mention, we were literally hanging on by a thread anyway because it had looked like things were starting to change. Riley, to this day, is still devastated by the fact that all he wanted to do was talk to her. And in one night, all that got taken away. And this isn't even the first time that we've had problems related to Nick and Anime relatively together. There have been many times where Nick has done things, whether incidental or not, that have made Anime uncomfortable. And so when I put all that together, I'm like, well, is it any wonder she refuses to talk to us? Because she thinks just like him. And we've never been able to truly speak as ourselves and be like, this is not us. And as a matter of fact, repeatedly, almost, a few hours after, we were upset because it was like, that was unnecessary. That was uncalled for. There's, of course, responding to someone if you think they did something wrong, but then there's going overboard. Nick did that not once, but twice. And that's not including the stuff Anarchy's had with our group. He's named our chat Animal Planet. He called Anarchy an anime worshipping whore. And there's now this, right? And the thing that baffles me so much, Nick, is, yeah, I get it. You're upset. I get that you feel like a psychopath and a monster. But do you really believe that this is good enough for the people that you've legitimately hurt, and quite frankly, for the people that you've destroyed? Whether incidental or not, do you think this is good enough? And to react with hostility like that? Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, considering I know the history, you know it too. But I actually miss Anime. And to feel like I legitimately lost a friend that I had no problems with before that point, it honestly hurts me. And among many other things, before I let someone else speak, I personally fault you for that. And it almost brings me to tears because of what you did. And honestly, I don't even know what to say. I don't even think I can finish my sentence. X, take the floor for me. I can't.
Seriously, Mac. Like, and also, you might not know it. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to get offended by it. You're going to be this and that. that towards me, but I don't give a shit anymore.
Not this time.
There is multiple fucking times that we would do role plays in a call, and it would get to the extreme point. I mean, to the extreme point. There was one role play we did in a call, which Nick, as playing a character, pulled a gun. This was a role play. This actually obviously didn't happen in real life. But it really got bad, and it would get to the point where that literally scared the shit out of me. I was scared shitless. And then a couple weeks ago, when you pulled a gun, when you
repeatedly, almost, a few hours after, we were upset because it was like, that was unnecessary. That was uncalled for. There's, of course, responding to someone if you think they did something wrong, but then there's going overboard. Nick did that not once, but twice. And that's not including the stuff Anarchy he's had with our group. He's named our chat Animal Planet. He called Anarchy an anime worshipping whore. And there's now this, right? And the thing that baffles me so much, Nick, is, yeah, I get it. You're upset. I get that you feel like a psychopath and a monster. But do you really believe that this is good enough for the people that you've legitimately hurt, and quite frankly, for the people that you've destroyed? Whether incidental or not, do you think this is good enough? And to react with hostility like that? Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, considering I know the history, you know it too.
Father's house. I heard my dad in the room in Pawtucket. I go there a lot, every once in a while. I kind of could have sworn I heard him in the other room saying, "Get me the phone. I want to talk to him." Yeah, like seriously, I don't mean to bring it up, but you see why like all this like why. I just completely ran out of words.
You should have been harsher on me, though.
So, I mean, you have so many wrongs tied against you, it's not even funny. The funny thing is, and this almost seems scary. I can't even say funny because, it seems scary. After you did what you did, you may have thought, oh, well, I was stolen of my freedom and whatnot, which already that's alarming. But you want to know what happened after you had did what you did and you were stopped? Literally 30 minutes later, Emily does the same thing. She grabs a rope and attempts to kill herself by choking herself.
I was well aware of that.
Very same thing you had done.
You know what?
You understand how bad that is?
I shouldn't have been stopped.
Very same thing. I was seeing it happen in text. I'm like, Emily, no. And then I saw him like, she's doing the same thing he did. And it was even more frightening at that point because I'm like, what have you done, Nick? That has never happened. She's talked about it before, and yes, it's very concerning, and I wish she would get help and get better, but that's a slow process. But the fact that almost instantly she goes and does almost the same suicide attempt that you did is beyond me.
And I do feel bad for her.
Anyone else want to speak? Go ahead, but this is baffling beyond all belief.
But what I am hearing right now is this is not looking good. I'm going to be really quite honest here, Nick. This is not looking good for you, dude. Your reputation is pretty much tarnished.
Yeah.
At this point. What I'm hearing from all the people out there, old friends that I know, this is not looking good, and this could wind you up going to jail too.
Yeah, this can literally hurt you. This can literally, like, I can't stress this enough. This is your reputation is pretty much fucked as it is. All right.
The question I have the most, because I'm hearing stuff from people, and of course I don't want to speculate on anything, so it's better for me to ask. There are some people that are saying that Nick was obsessed to Moonlight Mimi, and that's why he had all the problems that he did with her. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but I just need to know, since this is part of the whole thing that's going on right now, what in the bloody hell happened exactly with Moonlight Mimi, and why did it unfold to this?
What? I'm like, the only thing
I think it mostly started after the first thing unfolded with us, the first drama back in December. And it got worse. I think it got worse after she insulted my dad.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I do not like the fact that she did that. That I do not like. You don't talk about someone's family member. But
That's
the thing
a suicide threat,
that
too.
me about this story is I never heard how it started. Because it's one thing to say, yeah, my father was insulted, and that's terrible. I know, I feel bad. That was terrible. That was the wrong time, too, because you were
I had accidentally ruined her birthday, basically.
That's never okay. But there's always a beginning and end to these things. So what I want to know is what started it. What could have possibly pushed Mimi to eventually say that, despite it being indefensible?
Plus, there was a there was a suicidal threat added to that.
I think I know what started it. If I can.
Go ahead, X, please.
Something about her birthday.
They were in a chat and they were about to sing a birthday song, and Nick hates the song. Like me, Nick hates the song.
Yeah,
And
I can vouch for
I
that.
think Nick, instead of just ignoring it, turning off notifications, he lashed out on him. So he lashed out on him. So
Yeah, the song drives me that crazy.
Okay, so let me see if I have this right. And I understand that there are certain things you don't like. There are certain things I don't like too. But you mean to tell me that this all started because there was something you disliked, which is fine, but instead of ignoring it, you chose to lash out on it? Now, I don't mean to make comparisons to be insulting, but that's almost Shadow 66 levels of behavior, and I should know.
that's Mr. Postopia or 6R Productions Inc. levels of I don't know what the word is anymore. And you want to know something? That drama, this whole fucking thing could have been avoidable if you could have just turned off notifications and ignored it. If it happened in the poll, you could have just...
What I basically said was I hoped that she didn't have to hear it, and then I would have felt sorry for her if she did.
I mean, why?
That's messed up to say. Like, you have your thoughts about the song, and that's fine. But to say that to someone else who's just trying to enjoy their special day, that's messed up.
I gotta have to agree with that.
Seriously. Why?
I mean, with the whole suicidal threat I've heard that came out, I don't know if it had something to do with it, but if it did, I think both of them were slightly...
It was on that day that she said, go jump off the bridge with your father.
I think both of them were in the wrong.
Like I said, that is indefensible. Never okay. But there's a saying, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Yes, of course, absolutely. I think that situation, both of them were kind of in the wrong. Mimi just a little bit, and Nick was.
Right, and then there's this recent incident, which obviously you're still trying to find out a lot about, Chris, so I'll give you the TLDR of it. But apparently this happened on a weekend stream in which, it was hosted by Amanda, and they were cracking jokes, right? Nick didn't like the jokes. So he starts saying, man, you people are immature for these jokes. This blows up into something out of control. He starts saying stuff that is quite he starts insulting people, throwing around insults. And then at one point, he said a couple of things that were of note, okay? I actually have them on my phone here. If you wish, feel free to friend request me on DM, on Discord, and I'll send you it via DM.
Most of it was just amusing.
Right. But what he had said in particular was, first of all, he said to someone named Melody, just choke, will ya?
And honestly speaking, that wasn't even the first thing I tried saying to her.
Really? What else would you try saying?
The thing I was trying to say was, Melody, I hope you die. But that did not get past the censor. So I was trying to find a way around it.
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
What? Wow.
Oh, and goodness.
Oh my goodness. And then there's more. Now, he wanted to claim this was not